come to Kansas Wesleyan and get things rolling here for you. I guess what led you to decide Kansas Wesleyan's a place to be?
I just think the feeling I got on campus, the momentum that's here with the new presidential leadership, a chance to be on his team early. I think also the challenge of being the first full-time athletic director. I mean, I'm humbled by that, but it's a chance really to make history a little bit, and so that's exciting for me as well. And really the tradition that exists here, the core of coaches, just some coaches that even haven't been here very long, but are experienced veteran coaches. So you have a great core of coaches. You have an outstanding institution under new leadership heading in a very positive direction. You have a community that a vibrant community that wants to be a part of it. I think it has all the elements of a great job, and so that's really what attracted me to it.
You mentioned being the first full-time athletic director here. What is there that maybe that can bring to this university that maybe it hasn't had before?
Well, I think when the athletic director has other jobs, I mean, he has to focus on certain things that are part of the duties that you have to do. Those are required duties, and so those will still be something I'll need to manage. But at the same point, I think it'll give me an opportunity to be a stronger player in the community, to complement something sometimes when our coaches are out there, to really provide more connection, to get off campus a little more, to move the program forward, maybe a little more strategically than you can when you're mired down in the day-to-day stuff. So I think that's part of it as well. I think the program has grown to this point, and I give full credit. Dave Dallas did a wonderful job as an interim athletic director and led the program forward in a very positive way, and he's been so helpful in the transition. But now he's a chance to go back and coach football, and frankly, that might have taken away from his football coaching a little bit as well. And not that you necessarily saw that per se, but it gives him a chance to focus on that 100%, and gives me a chance to handle the administration, and really for the two of us to work together in that regard, as I will work with all of the coaches. So that's exciting.
You mentioned all your experience, too. You've been a director of athletics before. What does that bring to the table? How does that maybe help you transition into this position?
Well, I think it helps me know what to expect. I've been there before, 12 years as an AD, involved in conference meetings, managing coaches, making decisions on hiring coaches and staff, and strategic planning, and really all of the issues that are involved with running an athletics program. So it gives me a chance to come in here with my experience and maybe some fresh eyes and take a look at this situation. And not that we're going to necessarily make drastic changes, but have an understanding of what might be appropriate and need to be done. And I look forward to having that experience. I came to my first director of athletics experience with great experience from those mentors I had before. So now I have that coupled with, in addition to that, some experience from having sat in the chair previously also.
Well, now an opportunity to get things rolling at Kansas Wesleyan. I know you haven't been around that long yet, but what do you see as some of your goals here early on?
Well, I think initially the first 30, 60 days is really get to know the people as quickly as possible. The people on campus, in the athletic program, number one, on campus, because we have contact with so many parts of the university, in the community, and really get a sense of things, because I think it'd be inappropriate to have some reactions or strategies now without really understanding the full situation. So take some time to get to know people and understand the situation. And then, start to work together to put together a strategic plan and do it in a collaborative way with the community, with the athletic department, with the university, and put together a strategic plan that'll give us a roadmap to move forward. And that will really be the steps, the process that will take place in the next 4 to 6 months. And that will, again, give us that roadmap that will allow us to move forward and become that model NAIA program that the president desires.
I know something that's been brewing here for a while anyway is getting that stadium redone and getting everything kind of set up nicely. I mean, the new arena here and everything the last few years is great, but how do you see moving forward on that and getting the ball rolling on that process?
Well, you're right, number one, the Maybe Arena is terrific, and it's a great place to host folks, and it gives us an A facility. And B, the outdoor building, the outdoor facilities you're talking about, the president is very focused on that as well. And so he knows that's an important part, not just for athletics, but for the campus environment. To be able to play football games and soccer games and other events, track and softball and those kind of events on campus is important. But that fall football and soccer on campus, when those students are new, is really so critical to building that esprit de corps that helps build this whole spirit of your student body. And so that's an important element. The president has focused on that during his time here. So I'm excited to get it involved with that, to help in that process, and to see how quickly we might be able to get something done.
Mike, you've had 12 years of experience at the Division I level. Is there any concern that coming down to the NAIA level in Kansas Wesleyan, where the resources may not be the same as what you had at Seattle or at Towson or at Niagara. Is that a concern at all?
Well, I think it is different. There's no question about that. But I don't see that. I see some of the positives and benefits that are here at this level. For example, the opportunity to get to know the student athletes more closely than you can at the Division I level. The opportunity to really have an impact with them is something that I look forward to. The focus on character that's here. Frankly, there's been some things that have happened at the Division I level that hasn't sat as well with me across nationally. And so I see this as a great opportunity for me to kind of get back to why I got into this business, have an impact for young men and young women that are the student athletes in the program, and really the opportunity to take full advantage of that. And I understand the resources are different, but I went to a Division III school and saw everyone but one football game in a 4-year college career. And, the rivalries that we had developed with schools that you wouldn't think, a big game against Teal or Carnegie Mellon don't mean a lot to the bigger community, but in that John Carroll community, they did. And so I see the similar opportunities here, as the rivalries here are long-standing, long histories with lots of schools in this conference. And so the chance to be here and try to accentuate the positives of those rivalries, that's the basis of college sports, and try to work with those student athletes, I see that as a great opportunity. And I think the resources, I think Kansas Wesleyan has a quality amount of resources compared to the other people in their conference, the people they're competing with, and that's the most important thing. Kansas Wesleyan's not going to play Towson or Niagara. They're going to play within this conference, and I think that's to ensure that the student athletes and coaches have the resources to compete at this conference. That's my job as the director of athletics, and I look forward to that.
It seems that people have asked you why Kansas Wesleyan. That sounds like the answer that you have given them throughout this whole process. Is that pretty accurate? I
think it is. And for me, really frankly, it's also the chance to, again, be a director of athletics. I did it for 12 years. I was not currently a director of athletics at Seattle. And I enjoy the chance to have a leadership role in the program. And so this is exciting for me. And I think the timing is perfect with President early in his tenure, with his vision and enthusiasm, with the tradition and history that's here, and the quality work that's been put in place. I really think that the momentum is on an upswing, and it's a great time to be involved with it.
What about the KCAC? Have you familiarized yourself with it at all? Do you know very much about it?
I had a good conversation with Scott Thompson Crawford right when I looked for the job initially. And so he was great. I mean, we talked probably 6 weeks ago about the conference and the members and kind of what the strategies with each of the schools were. So I have a pretty good basis of understanding. I think it's a great place for us to compete. I mean, they're very like institutions. I love the geography because it's easy to get around. I can go to a lot of away games. I mean, again at Seattle, we were putting a team on a plane for every conference game. There were no conference games we could drive to. And that's just from a student athlete welfare standpoint, very, very challenging because of the missed class time, the expense involved with that, and just the wear and tear on the student athlete. So this is a much more student athlete welfare friendly conference, and so I look forward to getting to know the other schools a little more, understanding the rivalries a little better. And I'm impressed with the long history of rivalries. That's another thing that we've seen disappear at the Division I level, is schools are jumping from conference to conference, and those old rivalries of Missouri, Kansas are gone. And so I like the fact that there's long-standing rivalries here, because that adds something special in my mind to college athletics.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you sound like you've got some traditionalist in you, and the Division I is, as you say, is changing. I mean, when you've got Boise State talking about joining the Big East and that kind of stuff, and rivalries disappearing, and it's like shuffling a deck of cards with the conference realignments and everything. You've come to a place where that really is just what we read and hear about on ESPN, reading the papers, and that sounds like that's the essence of what this is all about.
I really think it is. For me, it is getting back to why I got into this business. I would agree with you. I am a traditionalist, and that's what excites me about this opportunity. There's really a chance to roll up my sleeves and be involved in a very vibrant way with what we're trying to do, very focused way. So I think that's exciting for me, and that's. I don't want to be the guy that's at the end office that never knows the student athletes or doesn't get out and get involved with what's happening. I know I'm a key player here, and it's going to require me to roll up my sleeves and do some things, and I'm excited about that. And that's going to be fun.